So last night I'm dashing and I have to cut out because I'm like, man, I'm so hungry and it's time to take a break. So I'm driving down Walden and I go past this white sign and it says Brill. You know what? All it takes is one little thing to trigger a memory of something else, and then it's like I'm in pissed off zone mode, okay? So I think her parents are Bob Brill and Aaron Brickwood. Okay? Her name's Sarah Brill. And so I don't know what year it was that they officially allowed for witchcraft to be considered a protected religion, making it legal to practice such things in the state of New York. But regardless of an individual's choice to dive into a very controversial type of religion and take it outside of their home and furthermore allow it into public schools where it is taught to little kids that think that they're gaining power, witchcraft type power, by causing detrimental harm to their classmates in a public school setting, that's highly illegal, okay? So in the Mount Morris Central School, as I understand it, little Sarah Brill, who is not little anymore, so I can clearly talk about her and my distaste for her, her mother ended up being on the board of directors for, on the school board. And her uncle, Guy Brickwood, ended up being the trustee for Mount Morris, the village Mount Morris. Well, I had a problem with this whole teaching thing of witchcraft to my kids in the Mount Morris public school system. And at the time I didn't know it was a legally accepted religion, and that now that I know, and I learned throughout the course of the years that it is a legally accepted religion, it is forbidden to be taught in public schools just like any other religion. So that was a naughty no-no. I had to pick up like my own learnings of the whole witchcraft bullshit, because that's not second nature to me, okay? And educate myself in the whole realm of things, okay? So all these little girlies that are now adults in Mount Morris think that they've gained all this power through their witchcraft by leveling people and destroying people's lives, and they think that's okay. And it's not. And they should be held accountable for what they have done. So in my son Josh's class, where this Sarah Brill, she was in his class, she was a little manipulating twat. Spoiled rotten to the core, okay? Less than 40 people in this class. And I watched how they targeted at least 10 boys in that class that ended up on pens in the juvenile justice system, in jails, in prisons, and their life went in the totally wrong direction, okay? And so I started looking at this stuff because I'm like, how can, who's teaching these kids? Obviously not people with adult type minds, okay? So I start looking at this stuff, and I see in his school paperwork, because I held everything. I had everything for my kids, all their memories, everything, and all stolen, destroyed by Livingston County, New York. Like, who does that shit? You don't have those rights, okay? You don't have those rights, and I will make it my last known mission on this planet to destroy you. Mark my word, I will do it. So in the Mount Morris school, I saw where they did this little stint, that took the kids to the Mary Jemison grave as a little field trip. And I didn't even know about it until like like years later. And I'm like cleaning out all this stuff. And I'm like, how come I never knew about this when this happened? And then, it's this whole little packet of information about Mary Jemison being a witch, okay? The Seneca Witch. That's what she was called. Well, here's some real information that you don't know about the little Seneca Mary Jemison witch. That the Seneca should have put an end to that shit a long time ago, okay? But they allowed it to transpire, and so that is their big ass problem, okay? Like, I can't fucking go there. They were ordered to get rid of that bitch and all her shit that she created, because what she did, and they never did it. So she had a Bible. You're going to find this someday, and then you're going to go, fuck, she knew what the fuck she was talking about, okay? She had a Bible, and you know how the pages of the Bible are, it's like a different type of paper, okay? It's not like paper you can pick up at school or, like it's special paper. And so in the back of the Bible, there's these blank pages, okay? She carefully cut out a page out of the back end of her Bible, and she secretly drew using like the image of a cow or an ox or something. She drew this picture of this thing that looked like, I'm sure it is her picture that has been cascaded throughout the world, of the devil, okay? And so she writes on the top devil, and she writes on the bottom red jacket, and she's allegedly adopted by the Seneca, right? And he's the top dog with the Seneca. She goes and she's teaching all these people that he originated from the earth and he's the real devil. And so rumor, gets spread throughout all the, the white population first, then it comes back, into the native, if you will, population. They never even looked at shit like that back then. And anyways, he gets locked up under religious bell tones of what she did by taking this page out, drawing the picture of the devil, and sticking it in the Bible as if it was actually originally placed there, okay? So he gets locked up on his own land, starved and left without water in this underground, like it's a jail cell. And he ends up getting out, but not because they let him out, because he prayed to Hiawatha to help release him. And the locks of the cell just came undone. And once he got himself out, he left his people and he went out west. And he never came back to the Seneca because they allowed that shit to transpire. I don't know who the fuck you get buried up here in this, what is it, forest lawn or whatever in Buffalo. That ain't Red Jacket. And P.S., by the way, that's not his real name. That's like a nickname because what he used to do. He'd see animals dead for no apparent reason, and people, and then he would carry some type of cloth or clothing to prove that he just saw somebody dead out there. or an animal dead and demanded to know how that person died. You know, he carried Iroquoian ways. Fucking Sarah Brill. Fucking Mary Jemison bullshit. We're gonna reverse some tides. I'm gonna put it all under my son's name. Can't stand that little red-headed, sick, twisted bitch from Mount Morris. Her and Jessica Rollison, they think they're gaining all this power by leveling people. Somebody's going to come around and level you, and I hope you all have children. Karma is a fucking bitch, man.